Do your servers fully understand the impact of upselling? Have they done the math? Have you done the math of the opportunity at hand if you simply increase your average ticket, say by $1? Today we're chatting about upselling and all of that and doing the math. Coming up. This is Making Dough Show. We're obsessed with helping you own a profitable restaurant that does not own you.
Because making no money is no fun.
If this is your first time here, consider subscribing so you do not miss a show. This episode is sponsored by Making Dough Agency. We can help you grow your sales through text message marketing for less than $10 a day. Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Burger King, Cold Stone, Macaroni and Grill, Subway, and Taco Bell. They all use text message marketing in 2019. If you've ever thought about maybe trying text message marketing but never got around to doing it, we can help. If you have any questions or would like to try it out for free, go to our website, makingdoughshow.com, scroll all the way down and fill out the form, and we will get in touch with you within 24 hours to help you make some dough.
All right. Today, we're talking about making more dough per ticket.
That's right.
Because Hangam and I are both engineers. She's the smart one. She's an electrical engineer. I just deal with dirt and sand and concrete in the civil engineering. So, talking about the math. We went to school, got degrees in math.
Useless degrees, but anyways.
Yeah, that's fine. It got us to where we are, right, honey?
That's true. In fact, the joke I always tell, because we have some of our staff who would like to become engineers. They want to be engineers. And always when we have
We've been able to provide some useful encouragement.
Yeah, and then always when we have a technician over, like we've had folks who come in and seeing
Fix
our
the oven,
AC
the
or
AC,
oven.
the make line.
Definitely. And
Spectrum.
I always make sure they know, our staff, that these technicians make way more money than engineers ever have. You know, they charge this like $200 trip charge. I'm like, what is that freaking paying for? And $100 an hour. I'm like, I'm going to tell you that an engineer, unless it's in a nuclear plant, does not really make that per hour, people. But that's besides the
Elmo,
point.
Rant over.
Okay,
all right.
I'm on
back
that
to
over
this.
that.
Back to this show right here. We're talking about there's only 3 ways to increase our restaurant sales. One of them is to get new customers. The second is to increase repeat business. And the final thing that we're talking about today, the math of increasing your average ticket. So, first, do you know what your average ticket is and the breakdown between lunch and dinner, and if you have breakfast, average ticket? So, for instance, our average ticket at lunch it varies. So I'm just going to give you a general range is like $16, $17 at lunch. And then at dinner, it goes up to $25 per ticket. And that's because deliveries tend to be bigger since as we have 2 pizzerias, that average is higher. And so we also know by the dining option where the food goes. So if it's dining in, they might have a lower ticket average because they might get that, then they might go back and get another beer, or they might get upsold a dessert, and so that's a separate ticket. It brings our average down, but we got more tickets.
We actually psychoanalyze all of this data on a weekly basis. I've shared another episode, which was kind of going over our marketing numbers. We do on a spreadsheet. We have a virtual assistant who puts them all together. Obviously, all the data comes from our POS system, but what Matthew was talking about, we look at our average ticket per dining option. We got carry out, phone orders, delivery, online delivery, versus when folks call on the phone for delivery.
That's right. We want to know the difference.
Because it is different.
Yeah.
There's dine-in, all of that.
It's better to have them order online. That's a good $5 more per ticket.
Yep, that's just a fact. Our online takeout versus our phone orders, average ticket anytime that it's online is way more. And so I want to go back to the show. Average ticket, it's not about getting new customers. There are a lot of tactics when it comes to getting new customers. A lot of them, advertising, Facebook ads.
May or may not work. Who knows? You might just have to schmooze that lady you see at the grocery store.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always aware of when it comes to new customers that nobody really needs, and everybody needs another pizzeria or another Mexican place.
Another
They're
burger
already
restaurant.
taken. Their needs are met, and we're trying to go there and convert them into coming our way. It's a lot of work. Increasing repeat business, it goes back to making sure you're doing that email marketing weekly and text message marketing weekly and all of that to continue to bring them back. Now, average ticket is not doing any of that. You have customers already doing business with you. The hard job is done.
They're in the dining room, or they're on the phone,
Yeah.
or they're looking at your online ordering system.
Yeah, and being very strategic in making sure the team fully understands the impact of increasing our average ticket. One of the things that impacts average ticket is obviously your prices. And you must be increasing your prices every 6 months. Now, we've not done the best. We've done it once a year for sure. I would say in the last 3 to 4 years, would you say?
No, I don't know about that. I think we skipped a year in there.
Yeah, it could be. But so one of the things with increasing...
We haven't been keeping up with the big guys, that's for sure. I mean, your Chick-fil-A sandwich went from, $2.85 to, what is it?
Like
Would you tell me it was $3.75 this last time? I was like, what the heck?
It's gone up a bunch.
Yeah, and who knows what McDonald's is doing. And then they conceal it with promotions, too, so don't let them fool you. They've got buildings full of people. We're these little independents that don't have buildings full of people doing it.
We'll all get there.
It's hard to challenge that, but follow the trends.
Yeah, so
they do the research. You get to win off the research.
One of the things with increasing prices is obviously every time you increase prices, that means you need to update all your POS system, pricing. You do have print menu. You need to go update the design and reprint it. You got a menu board. You need to make sure the team knows. I mean, obviously there's a lot of shenanigans that goes the logistics, but you need to make sure every year at least you do that. I have a full episode on that is called How to Increase Prices Without Losing Customers. That's our episode 35. I'll make sure to have a link down there. Now let's get
back to the math of the dough.
Everybody's
dough math.
Favorite here.
I'm going to call it dough math.
All right, Matthew, let's talk about a restaurant here that...
All right, we have a nice hypothetical example, just like your good school teacher would, because, we spent a lot of years in school. You may or may not have, but anyway. So, hypothetical restaurant X has 1,000 tickets per week, and they have a $20 ticket average. So what that means is that they're currently making about $20,000 a week. Now, if you're under that, you're like, oh man, I wish I could get there. And if you're over that, you're like, let me never go back there again, because sales solves all problems. So
for easy math, that's what we're doing right now.
For easy math, they're making $20,000 a week. Now, if only we change that $20 per ticket average up to the $21, then 21 times 1,000 is $21,000 a week. So just by simply adding upselling to what you're doing, what your servers are doing, what your website is doing, just by doing that, you can get it to $1,000 more per week.
Yeah. And so what it seems like, $1,000 a week, no big deal. Now, the next
a big deal. Come on, that helps you make that rent.
The next multiplication is what makes it fun, which is if you consider there are 52 weeks in a year, that $1,000 times 52 turns into $52,000 a year difference that $1 is going to make. That's a down payment on a house.
That's a Ford pickup, brand new.
That's a down payment on, or whatever, if you want to get a loan for your second location right there. If your AC's jacked up, which is our case here, I don't want to go there.
It's not $52,000 for AC.
Well, I'm just saying, it would pay for stuff.
Chill out. It pays for stuff. It makes the rent percentage better.
That's for sure. And so that's the actual math we're talking about. The impact of $1 is $52,000 a year that we need to consider. And the other thing is we need to make sure that our servers do the math. If we just do the math, we had a team member, her name is Kaylee, that's years ago, but I had this combo with her about, telling her about upselling, this and that and whatever, and she never got it until I gave her the pen and paper for her to do the math, very simple math, this that we just did together, for her to see, oh, wow, that's the impact. That's why I'm obsessing over, we need to be upselling, we need to be doing this. She never got it until she got it.
Because when customers call on the phone, if your server doesn't say, would you like a 2-liter with that, or would you like some dessert, or which dessert would you like? Would you like the Zeppeli, or would you like the tiramisu?
Or whatever. Yeah.
If they don't do that, it's costing you money.
Exactly. And so for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about upselling. Yeah, we're going to go into depth about that. So stay with us and make sure to subscribe. But another thing to consider is that by not obsessing over your upselling, is that you are losing $52,000 a year.
Does that hurt more?
That's the opportunity that you're missing out on.
Does that hurt more?
Yeah. And
to win 52 or lose 52.
Yeah.
That's a $104,000 swing right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that's
that hurt
serious.
more now?
Definitely, and we were not obsessed about this for a really long time in the past, and so we're getting our stuff together. And the last
That's
year
what
or
happens
two,
when you put engineers in charge of a restaurant.
yeah, I know. We find a lot of problems, and we're not done
The
finding
spreadsheet
problems
was
yet.
beautiful, but the upselling script a little bit less.
Yeah, we're going to go over all of that, some of the best practices out there. This is an area we ourselves are continuously working on and making sure our team works on. But your dough making
Challenge.
homework,
your
challenge
homework
of the day is that have your servers do the math. Get them to get their phone out. It's in their back pocket, sticking out if it's the
math
plus
itself
thing.
is probably going to be challenging. So
Get them to get
the
their phone out.
calculator.
Yeah.
They'll have to look for it. So just be patient.
And get them to, work with whatever your restaurant is. What is the number of tickets average that you process per week? What is your average ticket? And per day, you can pull that data from your POS system. Very
if you
easy.
don't have a good POS, we have a good recommendation.
Definitely. You really need that. So have them do the math and for them to fully understand the impact of upselling.
So that math we just walked you through, 1,000 tickets, $20 per ticket. Make them write out $1,000 or 1,000 tickets, and make them write out $20 ticket average, and make them write that math out. And when they see that $1,000, then make them multiply it by 52.
Yeah, and they can, if
or
you
do
want,
it daily. Make them multiply it by 365. Seems scarier when you multiply it by 365 versus 52.
That's
if you
right.
do just the daily.
Yeah, and then again, if they want to do the amount of tip difference, is like 20% of that is about $10,400 difference per year that would affect all the servers' pockets.
Ooh, that's true. You didn't do the math. So if you have a tipping full service restaurant and that ticket average, so you're talking $10,000 to the server that the server is losing by not following a good upselling script that serves your customers well.
Yeah. Definitely.
More on that in the next episode.
That's right. And so we're going to go over like 5 actual reasons why your servers do not consistently upsell. And the reason that matters is because if we don't identify why is it that they're not upselling, though you have to tell them every time. One of the things is that if we don't remind them, if we don't look at...
that's your job, is to remind people.
I know
that's called being a manager.
Yay. Thank you. So next, I'm really excited about another episode we'll do after that, which is the absolute easiest upsell that would require minimal training and 8 out of 10 customers will always say yes to. So I'm excited about that show. All of that is coming up.
That sounds exciting.
So you better subscribe. If you've got any questions, if there's any way we can help you with your marketing or anything in between, any questions you want us to cover in on the show, email us at makingdoughshow@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and now let's get back to work and
make some dough. Don't forget your homework.
That's right.